look at basics of sculpting. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add a UV sphere here. Right, so there you go, that's my sphere. And I'm going to go to this tab here called Sculpting tool. Right. So in this sculpting, you will see your kind of different workspace. And we have here on the left, we have our brushes. Got some brushes here. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to give a quick overview. And we're also going to look at some non-deforming brushes as well. And I'm going to talk a little bit about subdivision surfaces and the multi-resolution subdivision surface. So that's what we're going to look at. So as for sculpting, as you can see, this sphere is has low resolution. There's not many polygons there. So when you are trying to sculpt, you really need a more dense mesh, right? Okay, so if I'm sculpting here, as you can see, it's quite it is sculpting. So I'm using here the brush, this draw brush, yeah. So I'm kind of painting here, and it's expanding. So if I press Control, it will go down. So, but before we do this, I would like to, you see, there's no much detail I can add because our faces are quite large. So let's just go back here. The same way, we got object mode. So let's add a modifier. Add the modifier, some subdivision surface. I'm just going to use that. Let's put 2 or 3. You need quite a dense mesh. So if I look at the edit mode, for example, that is, well, I have not applied. So let me just apply. Okay, and go to edit mode. You see it's quite dense, right? It might not even be that dense, depending on the sculpting that we need to do. So in any case, let's just go and have a look at all the brushes we have, all the tools. So here I have the draw tool. So now you can see now that I have a better resolution here. I mean, better detail, right? So there you go. Yeah. So let me just go back to our object mode, and I'm gonna go into shade smooth so you can see a lot better. Let's go to sculpt mode again. So this blue, the blue area means it represents the size of our brush. So if I press the bracket key, close bracket makes it bigger, or small, open bracket smaller, and also I can press the F key and then I can control the size of my brush with the F key. Okay. One thing that you're going to notice, everyone, is the fact that this is kind of a very different way of working when you're doing modeling, like polygon modeling. Yeah, it is very much about sculpting. So you may find that using a mouse is quite limiting. I am here doing this video, I'm using a Wacom tablet. So I have the pen tablet, which it makes it much easier to use for sculpting, right? But anyway, so so you might get a little bit frustrated sometimes using the mouse, right? So here I am creating my shapes here. I can press F, so F, much bigger, yeah. And the other thing I want you to look at is there are two things. There's the radius, so that's the radius, and the strength. So the strength is the inside circle here. Yeah, so if I bring it down, yeah. and then in the radius, I think there is a tool that you can select, activate both at the same time. I can't remember what it is, so I will check it for you. So I think it's Alt F. No, it's not. I will check. So anyway, so this is our draw tool. So here you can decide the strength. So if you're going to do, let me just get a small brush with the strength. Yeah, so you can kind of create all sorts of different shapes. If I press Control, yeah, and my draw tool, it goes inwards. Okay, so that is because we have, when you press Control, so if I'm clicking the draw tool here, and you can see it's in the plus, there's this plus button, so that means when I click here, it's going to expand, and then if I press Control, it will do the reverse. Yeah, but if I have this, the opposite here, if I press that minus, so when I click like, so I'm kind of carving into it, and then if I press Control, it's going to be the other way. So you just know that's the case. Okay, right. So what other tools we have? We have, what is this one? The Draw Sharp tool. So you have, yeah. So you have to experiment with all these tools yourself, right? That's what we're going to do. So it's a bit sharper kind of brush. And then we have clay. It really works like clay. Yeah. So I can increase my strength, and then you get a much better definition, right? And then we have, what is this one? Clay strips. I like this one. So you have different strips. So you have to experiment. So it's quite nice to create some hair kind of thing. Hair shape. And what else we have? Clay thumb. Oh. And so look, layer, inflate. So you have the inflate button. So let me just, it's quite big now. So inflate here. So all depends the radius and the strength. So if I increase the strength, it's going to be a lot more. Will inflate a lot more. And blob, you can create blobs. So let's find a clean place here. Yeah, just creating blobs. Okay. And that one is a decrease. So for example, I have this area here. Let's just bring my radius down, my strength down, radius down as well. You see, I can get into that crease and make it a lot sharper. Right, here you go. There. Right. Okay. So we have, what's this one? A smooth tool. So I use this one quite a lot. Because if you have something that is kind of really sharp and you just want to smooth it out, so yeah. Again, if you don't want to smooth too much, you can decrease the strength. Right. Okay. Flatten. Yeah, so here, flatten. So there's all sort of things you can do. So it's really useful for, you know, sculpting all the different shapes, because when you're doing polygon modeling, it's quite technical. So this is really, it gives you a lot of freedom. But again, we are looking at a very dense mesh, and I'm going to talk about subdivision in the next video multi-resolution. And just go through scrape. You need to have a go at all this and see what, experiment with them. Multi-plane. All right, yeah. I haven't used that very much, but this is quite good. Yes, I like that. You see here, all sorts of different effects. Pinch is where, yeah, I get this bit here and I'm gonna pinch there. Right, so you can see. Grab, this is when you want to just grab, literally. So let me just make that bigger. There you go. So you can grab areas and pull. This one is the elastic form. Again, it's kind of a grab, but it has an elastic effect. See, it's pulling a much bigger area here. And this one is the snake hook. Let's have a look at that one. Oh, yeah, so you have to be very careful, because if you do too much, you kind of destroy things. So you just be gentle. Here you go. And what's that one? Thumb. Pose. Could use that for ear, for example, in a character. And nudge. Yeah. So have a go at this. So these are the brush, all the brushes, the sculpting brushes. Is that one? What's that one? Rotate. Yeah, so you can almost create that spin effect. And side relax. It's almost a little bit like smooth tool. Boundary. Don't know what that one does, to be honest. What does that? I don't really know that one. And then you have some others. Oh, this is like a cloth, so you can make it, add some kind of textile feel to it, right? And yeah, just have a play with this. And in the next video, I'm going to show you the non-deforming brushes. Yeah. Okay, I see you in the next video.